I'm having an allergic reaction.
An allergic reaction? Why? Because I mowed the lawn?
Yeah.
Okay, look, I got a big lawn. I mean a big lawn. So when I mow it, it stirs up a lot of stuff.
Oh, man. Ooh. Okay.
Anyway.
Lord Jesus.
This is a sad day, all right? This morning, sometime around 11 o'clock, near as I can figure, I might be off a few minutes, but there was another school shooting, okay? And I think there's 4 dead kids and like 9 wounded so far that I know of, because it's only been a few hours. And, but anyway, I mean, these are sad, sad things. And they're very preventable, okay? Now, the left is going to come out and they're going to, look at the hair coming off my head. Anyway, they're going to come out and they're going to instantly do their gun grabbing stuff. I think it's absolutely disgusting that they use human tragedies to further their agenda. Let me explain this real simple, okay? These can be stopped instantly. We need armed guards at our schools. Now, they're going to have their little talking points. They always have their catchphrases. Oh, I don't want guns around my kids. Let me explain something to you. We have armed guards at all federal buildings. We have armed guards at the DMV, for God's sakes. So you're telling me the DMV employees are more important to you than your own children, all right? They're going to do this gun grabbing stuff, all right? And, this part here is for Kamala Harris, okay? My guns are not for sale. I am not giving them up. I do not own an AR, but if I did, you couldn't have it, all right? The Constitution, I know this document really makes you people mad, but it guarantees us the right to have firearms. I live in the country, all right? And I know you guys you prey on people's emotions, and people are not smart enough to understand the catchphrases. I saw a clip from a movie, right? This chick was saying, she says, my father told me that the vast majority of people are asleep. And the few people that are not asleep are in amazement. And that's me. Yeah. I just can't believe educated people can believe this nonsense. All right? If you guys would just go to the FBI website, thousands and thousands and thousands, I think it was something like 150,000 crimes a year are prevented by good people with guns. Okay? What they're advocating for, there's no plan to get the guns away from the criminals. As a matter of fact, Barack Obama gave guns to criminals just to see where they would go. It's called Fast and the Furious. All right? But anyway, and let's not forget all the guns we left in Afghanistan. Those guns are finding their way into Mexico and into the United States because they're being sold. Is crazy. I mean, the answer, and look, they're going to try to tell you it's a conservative thing because they want to disarm us. Look, the last like 5 or 6 shootings were confused transgender people. Almost 99.5% of all mass shootings are done by liberal people, Democrats. They're the ones that do all the shooting. All right?
Look, I'm not gonna say anything in that regard, but the issue is that they use this sort of tragedy to
it's horrible to further their own agenda.
And here's the problem with that. Okay, why they don't? It's not that I hope that they're not this intentional. Okay, but why they don't want guns in school? Because that leaves your schools open to being attacked.
That's right. They want a soft target because they want to play on your emotions.
They can use that to play on your emotions. Yes, let's take all the guns away. But they cannot take the guns away from the criminals.
Correct.
And the only thing that's standing between them and your freedom of speech is the Second Amendment. Correct. Don't forget that. anytime that they're grabbing for your guns or for anybody's guns, they're not grabbing for the guns. They're grabbing from your for your ability to defend your First Amendment right to freedom of speech.
But,
this is pretty unique. Not everybody has it. They can arrest you in England for saying something that they don't want you to say.
And they do
because
all the time.
They don't have the guns to defend themselves, and they don't have the freedom of speech. This is something pretty unique to this country, and we need to fight for it.
Look, the media is disgusting because they filter everything, and it's just like Nazi Germany, the Democratic Party. I'm telling you, there's not much difference between them and the actual Nazis. That's why they keep accusing Trump. When something bad happens, the Democrats, what they're doing, they accuse the other side. And this is just a fact, okay? Like, if you look at Christopher Weir and at Merrick Garland, these two men right there are going down in history as the cause and the voice of the next civil war. They have single-handedly destroyed our justice system, and now it's like now they're talking about the Russia stuff again, okay? Now look, I might be a silly old man, but I fail to remember, okay? I really don't remember a Russian spy balloon or 2 Russian spy balloons or 3 Russian spy balloons. I lost count of how many Chinese spy balloons have gone over the United States. And conveniently, they never shoot them down till they hit the water. Okay? Right? Conveniently. But we know where they come from. And how about all these viruses that come from China? I haven't ever caught a Russian flu. Have you?
No.
No. It always comes from China. All right? But you people are so concerned about that. I remember a few years back, oh, I am worried about North Korea. Who in their right mind would worry about North Korea? It's China, people. China. But no. No one's going to say anything about China because the Democrats and a lot of Republicans are in bed with the Chinese. But I'm telling you, it's like I find it disgusting every time there's a mass shooting. The Democrats come forward and play on your emotions. And the answer is so damn simple. Just put armed security guards in the schools.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Yeah.
And this won't happen.
But, don't let yourself be manipulated by the narrative of the other side. That's what they do. They love to manipulate your emotions, tell you how your kids will be safe and stuff. And let me tell you, while shootings like this are terrifying, they're horrifying, they're abomination to everything that we should hold dear. It's not the only thing that is attacking our children in schools, okay?
Correct.
You have a transgender ideology that is being promoted in the schools. There is this things about sexuality that no kid should ever hear about.
No.
Now, no kid below the middle school. I mean, you should have frank conversations with your children about sexuality, but nothing like the things they do.
It's like,
yeah, are they in danger of being shot? Absolutely. But there's bigger dangers there.
Right. I remember when I was a child, I remember my parents saying that, if as a teacher, your students know if you're a Democrat or a Republican, you have failed, right? Because even politics was kept out of school. Okay? But now it's like if you're not flying a rainbow flag, you're not being a teacher. And no one gave you permission to openly talk about sexual matters to my children. We used to, when my kids were smaller, we had to sign a waiver just to have a 1-day sex education class.
If you have kids in school, okay, let me ask you this, guys. If you have kids in school or you're a teacher, okay, when is the last time your kids had this assignment where they have to research both the pros and the cons of an argument?
Yeah.
I did that.
We used to have to do it
I
all
used
the
to
time.
do it all the time. Okay, you have to look at the pros on this and the cons on this, and you have to make a good, convincing argument for both things.
They were class-wide assignments. Everybody she would split the class in half, and everybody would have to write.
And you
yeah.
You can't even. And I realized I was listening to something earlier, and I realized, you know what? That is not something they do anymore. And we did. What did that do? They make you think through issues all the way through from both sides, and it made you empathetic to other people's plights. Okay, so.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, it's like I'm sick and tired. Okay, this country has been taken over. It's already fallen. All right, by the deep state. And if you don't believe me, just look who they prosecute and what they prosecute for. You used to have a crime to prosecute. Now you don't have to have a crime. They just have to be of the other political persuasion, and you try them in a liberal city and you'll get a conviction, even if they did nothing wrong. Or no one has ever been tried and convicted for that before, right? You now have prosecutors that are researching, looking for a crime. Not a crime that was reported, not an actual crime that hurt anybody, but you have prosecutors now looking for crimes, okay? And I'm sick and tired of people saying it's a blue state. It's not a blue state. There's no such thing as a blue state. There is just 15 to 20 blue cities, okay? And if you live in Louisiana, you're held hostage by New Orleans and Baton Rouge. If you live in Illinois, which I was born there, you're held hostage by Chicago. You don't share common values with these people. You don't. It's just more people live in the city. All right, so that gives them a political vote. I mean, and it's like people that talk about doing away with the electoral college, you're not smart in the head, okay? Because here you go. You have 3 wolves and 1 sheep in a room, and they're going to vote on what's for dinner. What do you think is going to win? Well, the wolves are going to say, we're going to eat the sheep.
Correct.
Right? I mean, there was an old adage about the lumberjack, right? Voting to be president of the trees. He says, if you elect me, I won't cut down no more trees. Duh. Right?
The lumberjack. They'll do what they're going to do.
Right. But anyway, I'm telling you, I find it sickening every time a tragedy happens, the Democrats jump out there to the forefront and push this nonsense, okay? The answer is so simple, all right? But no, they're not going to do it. They're never going to do it. Why? Because they don't care about your children. They absolutely don't. What they care about is the political push they can get from a mass shooting.
Yeah.
That's all they care about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Who said that? Never waste a good tragedy.
Yeah.
What was that? It must have been in a movie.
Was it in a movie or something? I don't know, but yeah.
But someone never waste a good tragedy to use it for your political gains.
These are sickening people. Yeah. Anyway, my prayers are literally focused on what happened there. It was a school called Apache High School in Georgia. I just, that's a lot of healing to do. All right. That community is going to suffer for a while. All right. But all of these things you would never. When's the last time you heard about a shooting in a DMV after that first one? Never. Why? They brought security guards into every single one of them, armed guards.
Yeah.
People do not go into hard targets. They always select a soft target. And the Democrats make sure that there are no armed guards in the high schools. Now, there are some schools, to my understanding. I do know in California, the high school that my son went to, right? Democratic place, Democrats in California, they don't want their kids to get shot up. So they have barbed wire and armed guards, right? Think about that, right?
Yeah.
Kamala Harris, her home state, they protect the kids. Now, I do know that the middle schools and the grade schools did not have. I don't remember that, but I do know the high school did have.
But I tell you what,
right?
I know one of my kids' school, I I remember they used to all sit outside until the doors were open after one of the shootings. All they did was, as soon as the doors got
They
the
brought
kids,
him into, yeah.
every kid into the school,
Right.
and they had people they watch, and then after that,
Yeah.
the doors were locked.
But
And
yeah.
there's nothing better than there's. You start with a simple thing. There's nothing better than a locked door to stop somebody, okay? And then after that, you want a good guy with a gun behind
Right.
the door.
While he's trying to break through that metal locked door, security guard runs to the door, and that's it. It's over.
It's over.
Okay? But no.
And
It's
all you have is a bad guy dead.
a dead bad guy, right?
It's okay.
That is it.
No problem.
Anyway, like I said, it's really sad, and man, you Democrats, you disgust me. All right.
Look, I don't know that I would. I hesitate to say this, but if it's any comfort to anybody, when someone leaves this world, they go to God.
Especially a child. They're in the presence of God.
They woke up in the presence of the Lord. They are no longer in any pain. They are no longer suffering. They're not sad. There's no more tears in their eyes. And I don't know that this is any comfort to anybody. I don't know that it would be any comfort to me if my child wasn't here. But maybe for the future, and when they're healed, know that the people that we lose here are with God, and what better place to be than in the presence of the Lord. You know?
Okay. All right. God bless everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Hey, this is a quick one.
Yeah.
Oh.